don't judge person by their appearance. So I was invited to meet a person, a wealthy person. The funny part of this story, I know him. So I got the call from a friend. He's a boxing trainer. And there had been a new person came in the gym and he trained him and he got to know him and turns out that he's a really wealthy man doing car stuff, and he's rebuilding the engines and tuning some kind of fancy cars like Porsche, Ferraris, blah blah blah, and so on. So he said, I'm going to have a coffee with him in his facility. So would you like to come? I said, sure, I would love to see. I like cars. I'm into the cars. So yeah, let's go. So we hit the road, and sooner or later we're there. And then we sat in his office. The what's what she's called, the secretarian. Yeah, she invited us in, and soon enough there comes the man. And the man's name is Edgar, and he comes in and is like, oh, I kind of know you. I know you from the childhood. Actually, you were the person who built my motocross engines. Since I was running motocross since I was 5 till 16 and did it kind of professionally, I remember you. I was like, oh yeah. So we got talking, and we almost kind of forgot that there's a third person who actually got me there. But the point of the story is that he showed us the facility, treated us with a coffee and all kind of things. We got to see the behind the scenes. It was a great hour, a great experience, and overall, I had a great time. And here comes the funny part. Some time later, we have this mutual friend who is working there, and we got talking with him and my friend who is training boxing, who is a trainer in boxing. And he told us kind of the real behind the scenes in that company. Even though everything was taught to us and shown to us that here everything is amazing, everything works amazing, it's like a Swiss watch, everything is going perfectly. Every second, every person know what to do. And we believed him. Of course, he's a grown ass man. Why shouldn't you believe him? And everything was there. Everything worked. People were happy. The employees were there. The cars were there. The engines were being rebuilt. So there was no second guessing that all of this and all this tour and what he gave us and told us was legit. So we believed him. Turns out it's not the case. And although I still like the guy, he's amazing, and his story is just a little bit twisted. But although he's still wealthy and he still owns that place and he still runs that place and he still is rebuilding those cars and he's working with those Porsches and Ferraris and Lamborghinis and so on. It was just a small misleading part of the story, which he didn't probably wanted us to know. So then, poem which I would like to express right now, and try to follow me and see where you end up in the end of the poem. The name of the poem is Cookie Thief, and if you have heard, just maybe follow along. A woman was waiting at the airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She handed a book in an airport shop, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from a bag in between, what she tried to ignore to avoid the scene. She munched the cookies and watched the clock as a gusty cookie thief diminished her stock. She was thinking to herself, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half, as he ate the other. She snatched it him from him and thought, oh brother, this guy has some nerves and he's also rude. Why didn't he show any gratitude? She never knew when she'd been so galled. She sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank to her seat. Then she saw her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise that there was her cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair, the others was his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. So where were you? Where were you in this poem? So you think were you thinking independently or interdependently? And what does it all learns to us? I have a great friend who is really wise and he's in his 60s, I believe. And once he told me, and you should try to remember this at least, take at least this one from our time. And he said to me, Mateus, there's always three sides of the story. It's yours, mine, and then there's the truth. Remember this the next time. Think about this the next time when you're presented with something giant, something amazing, something worthwhile. Think about this. Not everything looks the way it is, and it isn't always the way how it looks. So remember that, and have a good one, take care, and see you then.